And we are back and finding it hard to believe we are in heaven for a second week in a row here. Last week we covered 10, that's right, count them, 10 game changing facts about heaven that completely changed my understanding of what the biblical portrait of the good place is. And I promised that I would get into just as much, if not more, trouble this week. So let's do a quick recap and then get right into it. Last week, we started off mentioning that the Bible doesn't have a portrayal of heaven that's really anything like what we tend to think of, especially not in the Old Testament. You read Genesis through Malachi, you are not going to get anything that looks like the harps and halos flying around on clouds idea that a lot of people have about heaven. And in fact, the Bible doesn't usually call the good place of the afterlife heaven. Heaven is just a word used of the skies, and then it eventually became used of the place where God lives. And then as theology developed and people began to think, you know what, it would be nice if we got to live a second time beyond this life, and maybe we get to do that with the God that we believed in. Then it kind of became this idea of we go to heaven, even though that's not really the language that the Bible used. It was more about the resurrection by the time we get to Jesus, and that's what gets fleshed out so much in Paul and some of the other letters in the New Testament.